So yeah, well, it's not wasn't the plan, but it's what we're going to. Oh yeah, I disabled my Logitech. I turned off my Logitech software, so my key binding shortcuts don't work anymore. So we'll throw that into the pile of broken games queue. Okay. Where'd we leave off here from? So, at least with Fear, looks like we're going to have to go and we'll have to get a hold of another copy of that on some other system to try and get that to work properly. So, let's try and do a poll to see what game we actually will play to completion next. And we'll move that one off the list for right now. So, Control, Prey. What else did I want? Did I have? Oh, yeah. That. Control, Prey, The Wolf Among Us, Doom 3, and then there was another game I had on there yesterday that I don't remember. Oh, yeah, this. No, there's... I don't remember. We'll just go with that for right now. You guys can go ahead and vote on see what we'll move to, at least for the... I'm really kind of hoping for Control, because that's the... basically about the continuation of the Alan Wake universe. Wishes to congratulate you on your victory over good King Mugumog. Your bravery and service to the 12's Wood and her Mughals shall not be forgotten. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the woman responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and retreat her to the full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind. Oh, I know what else has been on there. I'd had the 11th hour on there. That's what it was. That's what I wasn't thinking of at the moment. But North, if you're still there, remind me that we need to stop by that game store on Friday. You return to us unharmed and victorious, thus have I 2 reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in Thornmarch. Then it is as we feared. The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Mughals don't worship him for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of. And mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that, through a combination of the power contained in crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Mughals called forth a being that by rights should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the aether which comprised him instead being scattered to the 4 winds. According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means Ascians, this whole business reeks of their handiwork. Kupo, they said it was the masked man who had taught them how years ago, but Gridania has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question. Found it all, how many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts? Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers, fools to build the pyre, and crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation. A somber thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Servant Marshal and I have much to discuss. Before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll. The matter of which you speak has... We knew we could count on you, my lady. While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seeds here, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired. Wow. Yeah. Even used copies of this game do not go cheap on Amazon. Or no, I can't teleport directly there, but I can use this. I also checked to see if maybe I can get them off the Xbox 360 marketplace. Once off stream, of course, but... like a used copy of the original Fear, about the cheapest I could find it between either system, 360 or PS3 on Amazon, was like $28. It's good to see you hale and healthy. I received word from Ida and Papalmio that you had felled good King Mugumog, and I'd hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the Peace Tribes and taught by the Asians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the older Seed Seer of her usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. The time has come at last to leave Vesper Bay, and Philia would apprise you of the final details of the move. Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are at long last ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. You have it, but you don't remember why you bought it, though? So as to avoid drawing you undue attention, we shall make the journey to Revenant's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is still my intention to conduct future operations openly, but on this particular occasion, the need for caution overrides all other concerns. To move north as one ponderous caravan would only serve to invite attack. It seemed only right that I should be the last to leave, and I would have you remain with me until the end. Upon my departure, the Waking Sands will formally cease to be our headquarters, and the premises will be given to the care of Orengar. Yep, looks like control will be what we're doing. I thought to relinquish the property, but he was quite adamant, and I had not the heart to disagree. These walls have borne witness to some of the brightest and darkest moments in our Order's history. Mayhap it is best that we do not forsake them entirely. Urgar shall remain here and devote his energies to studying the nature of primals. By the grace of the 12, he will one day discover the permanent solution that we have sought for so long. Of course, he will not be alone. Alice shall continue to work closely with him as well. Should they require our assistance, I have the assurances that they will not hesitate to contact us. Speaking of your Orengar, would you inquire of him if any tasks remain undone? I cannot escape the feeling that I have forgotten something important. I mean, personally, I feel that they're really great. The Fear games are really great. I just wish it played better. But, I mean, it was something that was built on Windows XP, and I haven't ever tried to play it on anything since those days, so... Thou art ever welcome, Lucian, but I require no sins. Pray take thy leave unburdened by concern for my well-being. Verily thy countenance bespeaks a desire to quit this place without further delay. Mayhap thou thinkest this chapter of our tale concluded that these halls should rightly be consigned to the annals of history. And man's eagerness to seize the future, how rarely he doth set down the past. Full many a proud pioneer hath bravely stridden into the great unknown, only to find there was the banner of his ancestor, faded by the aeons, and still many glorieth in his discoveries. 'Tis through his pride that wisdom doth ever give way to ignorance, while they who lurk in shadow remain hidden, lost, no sooner than they are found. Be not offended, thy conduct hath ever been beyond reproach, despite thy surpassing strength and all thy many victories. Thou hast never been so convinced of thine own greatness as to imagine thyself above the failings of thy forebears. Mayhaps it is the echo which hath opened thine eyes to the lessons of history. Would that the same could be said of... Well, yeah, you're right. I've been so busy trying to think of some solution to fear not working that I forgot to change that. Thank you for reminding me, the real Lorebot. How are you? Ah! Oh yeah. It So from what I could research while trying to simultaneously fix the game and get it to play, and apparently does not like Logitech devices whatsoever. And you either have to get it into compatibility mode, running, which I could not get into compatibility mode whatsoever. I couldn't figure out how to get it to run in compatibility mode. So a problem I've always had was games I've had from Steam, or you had to basically disable all HID devices, um, or basically just remove any Logitech devices from being connected and connect non-Logitech devices. Which unfortunately I don't own any non-Logitech mice and keyboards. Whence came that cry? The Solar 12 for Fend, the antecedent. It was running at like 3 frames per second. Yeah. Whence came that cry? The Solar 12 for Fend, the antecedent. You must. But I'll look into some other solutions so that way at some point we can play Fear. It just may not be for a little while. Thomas so would you have done the same? So Lavalier was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I had met him prior to his passing. An Asian here? How? How readily you see you are indeed gifted antecedent. But you're not like the others, you're rogues. Gifted but ignorant, yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Mine are the robes of an emissary, unlike he who came before. I have no quarrel with you. He who you speak of La Habrea. You haven't played Fear since like '08. To be honest, you couldn't get past more than 2 hours into the game. Way too much jump scary for you. It's one of the few horror games I ever truly enjoyed. The lore on it though is just so screwed up. You rarely will ever find a more screwed up family or family tree in any video game. Well, Brea's worried. He fought, he fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Then he is still... Come, I only confirmed that which you already knew. There is no cessation, no oblivion, only expulsion. You, what are... We're ready when you are, my lady, if there's nothing else. Fat people tell you about the story and lore, and it sounds amazing, you just can't play the games. I've never played anything but the original first game. But even that was just so screwed up and so wonderful at the same time. And the way they actually told the story. Is something the matter? Oh, I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to Revenant's toll. Well, I'll let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready. It is only to be expected. She lacks the gifts and the knowledge both to her. We are indistinct. I do not understand. Shareless, fleshless, formless, what truth there is in each tale is diluted but by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation. Expectation colors perception. Thus did she perceive not. So it is with all but a chosen few. Even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded. You know nothing about me. Nothing. The gift grants you clarity, it grants you focus. With it, you may in time come to see us as we are rather than as crude approximation. Do not think so highly of the Echo. Library is wrong about a great many things. The Echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master. And if we did, there'd be no strife between our peoples, for we would be of one mind. I leave as it came, in peace, antecedent. May we meet again as friends. Wait, stay where you are. Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from his grace with such resolve. Was it also by her hand that you survived the ardor? I wonder. Take it there is need to explain. Save your concern, he did me no lasting harm. Whatever his intention was, it was not to kill. I heard a cry. What happened? Are you alright? You look faint. Do you need to lie down? I could fetch you a flask of my special tonic. Ermengar, send word to the students of Baldasia and tell them to scour the archives for the forbidden tomes in particular. If there's any reference to an Ascian robed in white, however oblique, I would know of it. Ascian, my lady, was that what gave you the cause to cry out? I did but moments ago glimpse a figure clad in white set forth from the waking sands, yet Ascians are wont to employ teleportation magics. Why would one be so brazen? I know not and care not. Find him, illusion. Turn every stone in Vesper Bay if you have to. Pray attend me to Taru. Well, as I'm thinking about it, there is one benefit to going through and getting like the PS3 or Xbox 360 versions of the game. Ophelia has need of your talents for a re-emerging primal problem. I know you have scarce had a chance to rest, but I'm afraid there is still work to do. The ultimate weapon's destruction, it would seem, has served to embolden the beastmen who now seek to call down their gods once more. Even as we speak, the Amalja, the Exile, and the Kobolds are making preparations for the respective summoning rites, and that is but the half of it. Much to our dismay, all three tribes were somehow able to procure vast quantities of crystals. Oh, my turn to say something. Basically, this means the primals will be stronger than they were before. Far, far stronger. The previous incarnations will seem as pale imitations. The beast tribes, we believe, began hoarding crystals with a vengeance in the wake of the ultimate weapon's maiden appearance. You'll remember that as the time it devoured 3 primals in one sitting. Grand companies are aware of the potential primal outbreak. Alas, due to the losses they incurred and to ensure the success of Operation Archon, they are ill-equipped to take any meaningful measures. After deliberation, the leaders conclude that they must needs turn to us once more, to thee. In other words, I do all the work, you guys get to sit back and reap all the rewards. Theoric ways that were reserved and more do not appear to bear our connection to any beast tribe. Yet much and more still remains beyond our knowing. We must be prepared for all possibilities. I am loath to send you into the midst of danger again so soon, but none have proven themselves more capable against the primals than you. Will you undertake this mission? Well, do I have a choice? Yeah, my thanks. I truly do not know that what we would do without you. Go ahead, Thancred. Ahem. With circumstances as they were, I haven't had the chance to properly express my gratitude. I owe you my life, Illusion. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. A string of failures has left me feeling powerless. I wouldn't be stronger that I might do right by my fellow scions. But instead, I caused you all no end of grief and suffering. I swear to you, it shan't happen again. Owing to everyone's ministrations, I'm quite recovered now. I hope to return to my duties again soon. Thancred's return marks the beginning of a new chapter for the Science. Let us renew the fire in our hearts and continue to press ever forward. Now then, back to the matter of the primals. With no fewer than 3 of the beings threatening to appear, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. We must take it one sure step at a time. Ermengar has the review of the situation as it stands. Please speak with him to receive guidance on your mission. Oh, I picked up a quest that I didn't actually mean to pick up, but okay. Such knowledge the possessed of the beast tribes and the primals is at thy disposal. Whether man or beast man, we are one to seek power. We are plunged into the black depths of despair. That despair doth begin with the Emulja, who may have already summoned forth Ifrit. With our comrade Thancred now returned, thou wouldst do well to seek his counsel. But yeah, it was so bad playing Fear because it's just like I'd click to shoot, and then like 20 or 30 seconds you'd then actually see the bullets flying. I'm told you are the warrior of light, but I would know for myself. I shall walk north, and you may choose to follow. Know, however, that you will be waylaid if you do. You may even perish should you survive. We shall speak anon. Still wish I knew what I needed to do to unlock having the Chocobo companion out. I am being judged. I don't like being judged. Go judge someone else. help this guy out here real quick. Remarkable, truly remarkable. I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save she who bested La Habrea could endure such an examination. Have the laws of man grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience with the antecedent, did you not? Then you know I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Habrea. Even amongst his brethren he is considered unique. Nevertheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we discovered you, one so strong in the gift that she could cast us out. Your mother favors you still, that much is still plain, but surely you must feel it. Her influence wanes, and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so it shall be again, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims and question my motives if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am Elidibus, emissary, bearer of the world of the one true God, and we shall meet again. Thank gods you've returned. After you left, I began to worry that I might have sent you to your doom. I take it our visitor proved elusive. Beg pardon, he was waiting for you? What did you do? What did he say? As it was, so it shall be again. Of when does he speak, and of what exactly? The words of Elidibus pretend much, but reveal nothing, save perhaps a measure of disdain for La Habrea. I'd hoped for answers, but it seems I shall have to be content with a wealth of additional questions. I mean, it's too early in the story to get a lot of good answers. Has a final favor to ask. Let us set aside the matter of the Ascian until after we have completed our move to the Rising Stones. There's but one final favor I'd ask of you before I depart. I believe I mentioned before that my father was a member of the Almegan Resistance. The truth, however, is more complicated than that. As far as the Empire knew, he was their spy. He maintained the deception for nigh on half a decade, furnishing the Resistance with vital Imperial secrets, while feeding his paymasters subtly conceived misinformation. When he died some 15 years ago, my father left behind his journal, which I have closely guarded ever since. It contains every shred of information he and his agents could steal on what they believe to be the single greatest threat to Eorzea, the Primals. Its wisdom has guided me through the years, though there is much within I still do not understand. It's my hope that Erngard will fare better. Tell him to treat it with care. It is all I have left of my father. I thought thee departed. To what end dost thou linger? The father's final bequest, his daughter's lifelong labor? It is no small thing to surrender such a cherished memento. Well, can I imagine the antecedents pain upon my honor? I swear to spare no effort in the study of these materials, lest my lady's sacrifice be in vain. This is Menphilia. Forgive me, but I could wait no longer. I have departed for the Rising Stones. If you have yet to... Once you have given the drone to Erngrar, I bid you come to the 7th Heaven in the Revenant's Toll. Tatara will be there to show you inside our new headquarters. Assuming you have already attuned to it, you may wish to make use of our new Etheriate and Revenant's Toll. After all, it is right on our doorstep. I don't know, if you hadn't, by this point in the time of the story, if you hadn't done that, I'm sorry, you made mistakes. Oh, you're here. Good, good. We were all wondering when you'd show up. As I was just telling your rest receptionist here, I'm pleased to inform you that all the documents have been prepared and all signatures signed. The Rising Stones is officially yours. Splendid. From this day forward, I will spare no effort in seeing that it is as welcoming and comfortable home for us as the Waking Sands ever was. That said, this is also intimidating, is it not? So many unfamiliar faces and unfamiliar faces. Take that odd-looking fellow over there, for example. He's been eyeing us most suspiciously ever since we arrived. I can't help but wonder if we are truly safe here. Oh, that man, I can't say I've spoken to him myself, but rumor has it he's come to hunt for ancient treasures in the Crystal Tower. You've seen the structure I speak of, no? It'd be hard to miss it. That massive pillar of shining crystal that looms high over the land and just to the southeast of here. If the tales are to be believed, it's a remnant of some ancient civilization. The details remain a mystery, and that's no doubt why it's drawn adventurers and scholars from all over looking to unearth its secrets. The man over there is no exception. If my instincts are true, he knows more than most. If you're curious about the tower yourself, you could do worse than to talk to him and see what he knows. Why, if I weren't otherwise occupied with my duties here, I'd have half a mind to join you. I mean, just look at it. I can scarce begin to imagine what wonders lie inside. Why, that's wonderful to hear. Rest assured that this receptionist will work just as hard to see that our efforts do not skip a beat, despite the relocation. And with that, I do believe it's time you officially announce your presence to everyone inside. The antecedent and the others will surely be overjoyed to see you. Oh, they just want me to go do their work, because they're too lazy to go do it themselves. Just one of many, many things I need to do. But we know who you are, outlandish man. We know. Well, it is certainly spacious. Today marks a new beginning for the signs of seventh dawn. For today we declare our independence. We shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, but serve all of Eorzea's people proudly and openly. But this does not mean that we will sever our ties to the Eorzean alliance. On the contrary, the antecedent and I shall endeavor to strengthen them. Rest assured, however, that we shall not permit political considerations to influence our decisions. Our identity remains unchanged, as does our cause. We are the Scions of Seventh Dawn, and our single purpose is to safeguard the future of Eorzea. For Eorzea! A moment of your time, I would speak of Elidibus. Pardon my intrusion, my lady, but the matter which bringeth me will admit no delay. Mine every attempt to contact the students of Odasian hath been met with silence. No one will respond? How odd, allow me to try. No response really would not ignore us. They have never yet, my lady. I fear we must assume the worst. No, I will not believe it. No, Outpost perhaps, but not their headquarters. Their wards are beyond circumventions. Had they come under attack, they would most certainly have raised the alarm. None could penetrate their sanctum unnoticed. But for those who lack the gift and knowledge both, oh no. Contact their agents in the field at once. If aught has befallen the students of Odasian, they may know of it. Though the thought of it pains me, until such times we have evidence to the contrary, but we can assume the worst. Accordingly, we must needs seek another source of information on Elidibus. It is possible that others in the homeland are possessed of such knowledge, but be fairly warned, however, they are unlike to yield to it unconditionally. Do what you must. Yet another unforeseen and unwelcome development. What could be next, I wonder? A visit from a crimson-clad Ascian, perhaps, or Ochre, or Hugh? I'm not sure what that is, and which of your allies will then fall silent. For a time, I thought we had gained the upper hand. When you shattered the crystal of darkness and cast out La Habrea, I dared to hope that we'd found a way to rid ourselves of the Ascian menace. But I was wrong. He endures and may yet return. Upon that point, I have no doubt that Elidibus spoke true. Yet there must be a way to destroy them utterly, a way to spare this world their unholy machinations. I dare not consider the alternative. There are forces at work we do not understand. I discern them all around, and disturbances too great and too numerous to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Doubtless the Paragons are involved, but how and to what ends is far from clear. I know not what will come, but I do know that we will rise and meet it as one. Ah, my solar hero, your face is a picture of resolve. I know that you will be ready when the time comes. With luck, however, that will not be for a while yet. Pray return to your private affairs with my blessing. Should anything arise, you will be informed. Corral, where are you? Your intercession was not foretold. You object? We question. Our plans are in motion. Your intentions unclear. They survived the seventh order and are stronger now in the gift. Does that not intrigue you? No, it does not. Serve as you will, so too shall I. We labor not at cross purposes. The wisdom of his plan shall become apparent in time, when the veil is lifted from their eyes. At long last they see. Has a new assignment for me. Truly there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouses in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifest were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I may hardly tell you what that may imply. The brass blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they've as yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there's even a possibility that the thief act not out of self-interest but in service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Tula when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. If ever confident the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts, I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. grab something to drink here while that's loading. There we go. So reading all this out really kind of takes your voice away. Ah, Illusion, your assistance is most welcome. I've already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I'd go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Lupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigations and would only be repeating that which he relayed to me. If aught eluded my attention, maybe it will not elude yours. Oh, hello there, Illusion. Was it as Shola said to expect you? Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystal stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... Ah, but never mind. That I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allegan Sunway. The cart bolted off toward the eastern Thanalan, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning, yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Thanalan. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could. Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news, or on second thought, perhaps it is good news after all. Thancred, wherever have you been off to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And wouldn't you believe it, I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals in the hand were nowhere to be found. Is that so? Alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. We should reassess our options as well. Come with us. Against all expectations, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motive were profit, why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we're missing something. While you think about what it may be, I shall inform Ongar of our progress, or, well, lack thereof.
Now then.
Yay, voice acting!
'Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Oh, very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
Any bright ideas? Solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Poopaloopa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we may yet find something of use nestled away within it. Oh, but it's good to see you return. I have given some thought of the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there's someone among our own ranks conspiring with them, a traitor in our own midst? It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded. Indeed, if for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. But such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves, as well as ours, risk upon confrontation? Mayhap not, but neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead look to carry out the transfer, well, in secret. And trust the goods to, let us say, a lone miner traveling without escort as to not attract undue attention. But, I see, yes, the concern may well elect to do that, but to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley? Fine spot for a rest, would you not agree? Last throw of the miner is taken, so you will lie in wait to the north, and I will do the same to the south. Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. I remember this having been so slow of a story. Or this section of it was so very slow. Then again, I was also waiting long periods of time in between content to actually come out. Starting to the last as expected, you are unharmed. A gang of sea wolf thieves in Thailand, no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Sea wolves, all of them. Our thieves are a long way from home. Thangrid, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. We'll want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Excuse me. On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle while you were afield. We succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then by your leave, I should very much like to have word with the fellow in private. Oh no, I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regardless, he managed to subdue the unit of Blades dispatched to detain him and make good his escape. Oh, for the love of, how did you manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling that somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, but he was quite strong, a sea wolf, Menson born and raised, I believe, but don't worry, we'll find him. You got my word on that. I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere, and awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed, or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? The Innocent bid me to tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphino awaits you coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident, I'm not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphino has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitor's Brassblade, and when I do, you may rest assured that he will have our answers. No, not what I want. I actually want to... because I got something new. Finally got it done, taken care of. There we go. Got the card. Cruise around in style now. You are late, no matter. I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You're familiar with Doma, yes, and Orthard? Well, I, like the rest of our nation of the Eastern Continent, is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale, and more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Ulda. Unless I am mistaken, I am rarely mistaken. We'll find the Domas bickering with the Sultan Sworn on the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings and insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by someone. If not, who better than you to have an on-hand on the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? I'd be more likely to cause the incident. Besides, I do not enjoy her sparkling repartee. Satisfied, good. I shall see you in Ulda. Pray return to the waking sands. Well, not quite anymore. Now it's return to the seventh heaven over and over and over again. Or did they go through and call it Waking Sands again? Or Rising Stones. That's what they called it. Now it's the Rising Stones. It's sparkly, so it means I did do the thing there. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Pray understood, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior, allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart, I know his kind well. I hope that you'll find me more to your liking. Elfno Leveler, at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique in this part of the world. At least few indeed are your allies in Ulda. Yet you'll need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate the Quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there's aught we can do to help. I do feel bad about tonight, though. It's like, I was actually really looking forward to, well, if things had worked out the way they should have. Really looking forward to things, and then, well, they didn't. No, I mean, I'm just kind of bummed.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone, razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
"12 have mercy. And your people?"
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Yeah, it is, somehow.
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
If I may, madam, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tale of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them. Suffice to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more than you have already offered, so much that desperation compels me. If your wishes could spare any provisions, anything will go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner? Of course I'll help. We couldn't have picked a better day, to tell the truth. Both the merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow. See, but just sent word that they can't come. I mean, I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Go on, call on and Catherine the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Waking Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. So odd to see this place so empty. At least on my home server, that place is packed, but not usually with a group, anyone that necessarily would be very interesting to actually talk to. She's in business of feeding refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Mistress Momodi's judgment. That doesn't seem wise to me. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man that can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. My, that's a rather odd request. Maybe you misheard her instructions? You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Just help your fellow people. I mean, how hard is that? They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Gary it's all in hand. I dared not hope for such magnanimity, much less expect it. Mistress Modi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Gary, I briefed the Flame Journal on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. We have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both, we should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphino. I swear we shall return the favor. Naught is owed, Lady Gary, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor. I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the skin of the true meaning of Lamp 3, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them. Assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep, come, the Flame Journal awaits us on the Royal Promenade. pleasure, Lucian. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I, Yugiri of Domar, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Domar, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
Not enough.
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Uldar. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
I guess I don't understand why the passing of Gil. I guess I'm not understanding that phrase.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Ah, yes. The law is the law. And so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
My
lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than Gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Uldar's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Not very many in favor. Not at all. Well, we tried.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Well, I would say it is, but that's just my opinion. What do I really know? As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah, I always no more words on him, but not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone follow me to the Hall of Flames. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The Monetaries have made their position dear. Agreed, Ulda is not an option. Nor are Limps and Laments or Gridania a judge given the state of their internal affairs. We shall leave our Doman friends confined to the ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hopes of better treatment. They have more time to find an alternate place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. You've got one! This is just precisely what I wish to suggest. I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment. Not while my people suffer. Would it be that out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week mayhap, or even just a few days? Excellent, I shall keep you informed. I have a proposal, if you would hear it. Out with it. The headquarters of my order, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands, hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Ugiri. Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Ulda, Revenant's Soul would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Once again, I find myself in your debt. Pray do not thank me. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts. As I told you, and before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be born to Remnant Soul. Which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Olden and Adventurers Guild could be of assistance. Ugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Remnant's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ships with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Modi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those who are too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. What news? Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General Zero. Aught the Flames can do? I fear that exceeds our mandate. Where a smaller number may will go unnoticed, but the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. When the government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I'll engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well, we should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ulda, Lady Ugiri. And you and Remnant's Toll, my lord. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do, Lady Gary. Let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? I'm entrusted to task of escorting our Doman friends to you after you have rested your own road-weary legs, of course. What say you? We'll go with that one, because that'll be an upgrade. Wants to send me back to Vesper Bay. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, whereupon they will be transported by carriage to Ulda. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance coordinating the preparations. I'd have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process, though through tasks great and small. In short, whatever needs to be done, do it. Speak with a man named Hosen when you arrive. As Lady Giri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Greetings, Alphino informed me that a scion will be arriving to help with the preparations. I'm honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such frivolities. I knew from a glance what manner of woman you were. I too have some skill at arms, and as do many of our people. Pray forgive this trifle, but might I trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care? They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I have failed. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son Yosin. He can tell you more. Ah, hello there. I'm Yosin, son of Hosen. Will you be coming with us to Ulda? I hear we're traveling by horsebird drawn carriage. But don't you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but what's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help though. We were just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still in hiding, and since Lady Gary told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. I don't know anyone else was. Wait a minute. We're one of those stallions, aren't you? No, science. Then you must know Lady Gary, right? Isn't that great? She's really good at hide and seek too. Oh right, it's almost time to go. Nice meeting you. There's a second one. Are you playing on no fair? Yosin doesn't say anything about adults. Huh? We got to ride a horsebird carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if you say it's safe, I'll go. Last one's up there. How'd you find me, Bob? I guess I need to practice more. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Guardians didn't find me. Wonderful. All the children are counting hide and seek. Ah, I see that you are curious. It's quite simple, really. Thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Guardians found us. I should hope that these days are behind us, but nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Ready to leave Vesper Bay. The first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Homo, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with the young Haru, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Ulda is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you're ready to leave, please inform the coachman. Eager to be off, are you? Well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that. Runner from the Blades says we might have a problem. Fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerley. Might be as someone's eyes are playing tricks on me, of course, but don't pay to Campbell in this business. Now, I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here is another story. So I was thinking you might go on ahead and have a quick look around, make sure that the area is safe, and if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way's clear, meet us outside Horizon. The blades tell me the road's there safe. So I'm gonna make it that far on our own, assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. No, you're not going to hit me with that. So there was a BC, was being the operative word, eh? Well fought, madam, well fought. If only you were in better health, I should have been proud to stand at your side. Pay my son no mind. He forgets his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. Be that as it may, I can not help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost but not forgotten. Lady Ugiria's kinsmen least of all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one ever even begin to repay such a debt? And kind Father, to she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Remnant's soul will grow and prosper by our hands. Poor guy. Kaharn, I want to know why you became an adventurer. So you like roses, I think I understand. I mean, they're nice and everything, but don't they grow in lots of places? It's my turn. I got a question. What's Revenant's soul like? Is it pretty? So there are lots of rocks and things. It sounds a bit scary, but you'll be there too, won't you? From time to time. Enough. It's my turn again. When I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? course. To be a better adventurer, you need to go adventuring. Alright, that's enough questions. Oh, that's not fair. Why does Susan get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice. I won't forget it. I'm going to be an adventurer too. Make an adventurer's guild for Domans. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Illusion and Yugiri. Yeah, just like them. We know more about the courage on the way. Will you be joining us? I take it the first group has arrived. Excellent. Is there aught else? No, I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Geary should travel to Remnant's Toll forthwith. Have you and Geary depart for Remnant's Toll without delay. It's past time Lady Geary met with the guild representatives and Remnant's Toll. So I do not foresee any further matters rising here in Thalion, which might require your personal attention. I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Domin delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slapworn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom the Domans will be working most closely, I would think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Geary to Menphilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels. You're rich enough, you could have paved the way quite nicely, Alphino. This must be the esteemed Lady Yugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have wealth of spirit and camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course. But you are no strangers to hard work, Master Slapworn. You may rest assured that we will carry out our orders with due diligence. No, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand I give the same speech to all new arrivals. You needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are frontier hands as far as I'm concerned. As you wish. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedents. Seven hells. Why are you wasting time with me? See them to the rising stones. To whom which is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting with your leader. We shall join you at the rising stones soon. Tis no use. Our attempts to reach the students of Baldesian continue to meet with failure. Erengor has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We'll persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but waiting confirmation of that which we already know. How for the Domans? I'm given to understand you were kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the Primal's threat remains unresolved? No, I don't. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them. Ludigiri is here. Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her. We have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing. Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady, but you are quite certain we have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event the Revenant Soul could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution. Should that come to pass, we will find it together. As ever, it has been a pleasure, Antecedent. Alas, we must take our leave as the first carriage is due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak with Slathborn and Lady Gary Illusion. Now we'll make the necessary preparations to ensure that our Dome and friends feel at home upon their arrival. Though I must admit that I'm still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Ishola should be returning soon with a report from a field. Maybe you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon, soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless ones. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
I think you need to get rid of that head crab first.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not?
I guess. I don't
Even
know.
before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye. A primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
A primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Okay. That's where we're going to stop for tonight. I don't really have anyone I want to raid, unless you guys have someone that you'd like me to. I got things I'm gonna have to try to research and see if I can make available here. But, well, thank you all for joining us here today. Like I said, it wasn't what was planned, but, I mean, still got some stuff done. Just not where we originally planned it. So, till tomorrow, have a wonderful rest of your night.